Welcome back. Today, we're diving deep into Chapter 3 of Atomic Habits, one of the most powerful ideas in the book. But before that, let's quickly summarize the first two chapters. In Chapter 1, James Clear introduces us to the power of tiny habits. Instead of focusing on massive goals, he argues that small, consistent actions create real, lasting change. Imagine filling a jar drop by drop. Over time, it overflows. That's how habits work. Then, in Chapter 2, he explains why habits shape our identity. Instead of saying, I want to run a marathon, say, I am a runner. Your identity drives your habits, and your habits reinforce your identity. Now, let's get into Chapter 3. This is where the real magic begins. James Clear explains the 4 laws of behavior change, a simple framework to create good habits and break bad ones. These 4 laws are cue, craving, response, and reward. But what do they mean? Let's break it down. The first step is the cue. This is what triggers a habit. It could be anything, a time, a location, an emotional state, or even another habit. Think about when you check your phone first thing in the morning. What triggered it? Most likely the sound of your alarm. Cues work because our brain constantly scans for patterns. That's why people automatically grab popcorn at the movies. It's the environment that triggers the behavior. Next, we have craving. This is the motivation behind every habit. But here's something surprising. You're not addicted to scrolling Instagram. You're addicted to the feeling of connection it gives you. The real reason behind habits is deeper than we think. The third step is response. This is the actual action you take. But here's the key. If a habit is too difficult, you won't do it. That's why James Clear suggests making habits easy. Want to work out? Start with 2 push-ups a day. Want to read more? Just read 1 page. The easier an action is, the more likely you'll do it consistently. Finally, we have reward. Every habit must feel good in some way. If you enjoy the reward, your brain locks in the habit. That's why social media is addictive. It gives instant gratification. But good habits often have delayed rewards. Eating healthy doesn't show results immediately. So, to stay motivated, find a way to make the reward immediate. For example, after working out, mark it on a calendar. Seeing progress keeps you going. Now, let's put it all together. The cue triggers a habit. The craving gives you motivation. The response is your action. And the reward makes you repeat it. This cycle, known as the habit loop, runs our daily lives. The more you repeat this, the more natural it becomes. Eventually, you won't even think about it. It'll just be a habit. That's Chapter 3 of Atomic Habits. Now you know how habits are formed and how to design better ones. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to make good habits inevitable and bad habits impossible.